up, guys?
¡La familia!
¡Sí se puede!
Awesome. So, in fact, for today, I wanted to tell a story. I heard it just before coming out here, so I might butcher it because I've never told it before. But it's from Jordan Belfort, the guy who came up with that chant. And it's from one of the first time that he learned about sales or experienced sales, and it was when he was a really young person. It was the year was 1972. He bought a cooler, he bought some dry ice, and he bought some ice cream and some stuff, and he put it on a cooler, and he went out to the beach, and he just started walking around and yelling, "I got cold ice cream, cold ice cream." Because back then there weren't ice cream trucks or something. I don't really know, but he spent $22 on the cooler total with the ice cream, with the chocolates that he was selling. He spent $22 total on everything. And he goes out there, and within an hour, he sells the whole entire thing, and he profits like $100, which in 1972, that's a ridiculous amount of money, especially for a kid that was like, 14, 15 years old, however old he was. Back then, the minimum wage was $1.50. Okay, the minimum wage now is like $8, $10, depending on where you're at. So $1.50, and then it was in New York, so the standard of living was higher, so minimum wage is way higher over there. So it was probably like the equivalent to making like $700, $800 inside of an hour is what he did. So the next day, he went out, bought 4 coolers, did the exact same thing. Spent the whole $100 on 4 coolers, went out and he sold them all very, very, very quickly. Then the following day, he went out, he grabbed 4 buddies, and he bought coolers for all of them. He bought a good amount of coolers for everyone to be able to sell. And he goes out there and they sell all the coolers, but only him and one other friend are able to sell more than 1 cooler. The rest of the friends, they sold 1 cooler and they were excited about the $100, and then they stopped. They basically stopped pitching. They didn't go back and grab another cooler and keep selling. Okay, they were just complacent with what it is. They were excited about the $100 that they got, and they thought that was a good deal for them. And he wondered back then, like, why is it that people didn't want to keep going out there and keep selling more coolers? And he talks about how the difference is the standard and the mindset that you go out there before you step out on the beach, before you step out into the field. Before they went out there and were selling the coolers, what standard did you have for yourself before you go out there? What standard do you have before you go out into the field and you start selling? Like, do you have the mindset that you're going to go out there and just sell 1 customer for the day? That you're just going to get 2 lines, 3 lines, 200 these, 300 these, whatever it may be, okay? Whatever your standards are, he talks about you have to learn to be able to raise them, because your standards are what it is that you're going to live up to. And I was with the Met this weekend, and it was a great time. We spent like this week. We spent like 4 or 5 days together. A Met is one of the greatest human beings in the world. If you ever want to meet a nice human being, or you're not believing in people anymore, go hang out with the Met. You think there's nice people in the world, and he'll make you feel like a piece of shit because you'll compare yourself and you're like, gosh, man, he's such a nice guy. Anyways, a Met, he gets 9 lines in 2 days, or 9 apps in 2 days, which is, what is that, 18 lines? That's just an insane amount of lines to me in my head. And he gets a call from Mr. Khalil, and Mr. Khalil tells him, "Bro, what the fuck are you doing? Like, you can be doing more lines, and you can be doing way more than 9 apps in 2 days. Like, you're capable of way more." And Ahmet, his first thought is, there's other people doing way less, but he doesn't say it. And I asked him, why doesn't he say that? He's like, because I know Khalil's just trying to hold me up to a higher standard. I know Khalil's just trying to push me, and he's trying to make me do what I'm capable of doing, not what everyone else is doing. He doesn't care. Khalil looks at people's potential, and he doesn't care what people are doing. He cares what they're capable of doing. And I think that's what most people need to do. They need to raise their standards overall, and they need to stop accepting where it is that they're at and stop settling for average. Stop comparing what other people are doing, and just because you're doing slightly better than them, thinking that it's okay. Some people in here, they get excited about making $1,000 in a week. And at one point in time, $1,000 was great, because when we sold DirecTV, and that was really our biggest campaign, $1,000 was hard to get to. Like, you had to really push and stretch yourself to make $1,000, $1,200 inside of the DirecTV campaign. But with dropship, making $1,000 is like making $600, $700, $500 on DirecTV. Like, it's absolutely nothing. But because it's $1,000, some people still get excited about it. They think that it's better than what the average American is making, so they tell themselves it's good. They tell themselves this lie that they're doing good. Their standards are low. Like, you look at CT, you look at Matt, you look at all the Cynthia, the other people that are making $1,500, $2,000 paychecks. There's a difference between them and the people that only make $1,000. Between the people that only make $700 and $800. Chances are the people that make $700 and $800 and $1,000, they're excited about that $700, $800, and $1,000. And I'm not saying it's a bad thing to be proud and somewhat excited about making that $1,000, but I'm telling you, the more and more money you start to make, the more and more you start realizing that dollars isn't anything. $1,000 isn't going to cut it in life. Like, that's only $52,000 in a year. I'm telling you, you can't live off $52,000 in a year. It's absolutely tough. You have to be able to demand for more out of life, and it starts with way before you go out into the field. It starts with, what are you doing on your day-to-day? What are you telling yourself, and what are you accepting inside of your head as what's okay, and what am I gonna go out there and accomplish for the day? And how do you get bigger standards? I think one of the biggest ways is to get a bigger vision for life. Get a bigger dreamer, get a bigger dream for what it is that you're going after. You have to have some form of why. And I was talking to Angie before this, she's been staying late constantly. Like, every single day she's staying late to get her sales, and that's why she's doing really well right now. And I asked her why she's staying late, and she's getting ready for a wedding because she's about to get married, and that's pushing her to go out there and stay late and raise her standards for what it is that she needs to do on the day-to-day. And that's what most people, they're just waking up and they're going about their day, they come in here, they get excited, they like all the energy, and then they go out, have fun for a couple hours, make $1,000, and life is good. I'm telling you, you should demand more for out of your life. Like, you're capable of doing way more. There is nothing different between you and the people that make $1,500, $2,000 and above paychecks. There's absolutely nothing. The only difference is what's in there. What standards are they okay with? What are they accepting as this is good? What are they accepting as above the line behavior? If you've heard that impact about the above the line team, the difference between a team that does really good and a difference between a team that does really bad is strictly what their standards are. What do they accept as okay? And Urban Meyer wrote the book, the Ohio State coach, he wrote the book about there's an invisible line. There's certain behavior that falls above that line. There's certain behavior that falls below that line. And if you're constantly playing above the line, like, you're going to do well. What's playing above the line in this business? That's constantly listening to audiobooks, constantly getting, like, I don't know who it was, CT was talking about getting around better association, hanging around better people, hanging around people that think bigger, that have a bigger dream. And I promise you, if you hang around 5 millionaires, you're going to be the 6th. I know that sounds cliche, but it's really hard to hang around people that make a lot of money, and then you end up not making a lot of money. Either one of two things is gonna happen. Either they're gonna stop hanging out with you, you're gonna feel super uncomfortable because you're challenged by them, you're challenged by the way that they think, and you don't feel like you can live up to it, and you're gonna stop hanging out with them, or you're gonna push through, you're gonna keep hanging out with them, you're gonna feel uncomfortable, and you're gonna live up to what it is that they're doing, and then you're gonna end up making the same amount of money that they're making. One of those two things is gonna happen if you're constantly surrounding yourself with people that are doing more and wanting more out of life. Thank you, Francia. Okay, so how do you raise your standards? Find out what your why is, find out what your vision is, find out what it is that you're living for. What's your purpose in life? What is it that you really want to accomplish? And if you don't have anything, attach it to someone else's goal. Attach it to the team goal. Like, everyone in here has a leader. Everyone here is a part of a team that's stretching for something, that has some form of goal. If you don't know what it is that you want right now, that's perfectly fine. Find your leader, ask them what it is that they're trying to accomplish, what goals are they trying to hit for the office, how much of a role do they want to play in this office, and attach yourself to that and talk to you and tell yourself that, like, I'm gonna be a part of making that happen. I'm gonna be a part of that person going mastermind. I'm sure there's people on Francia's crew that they're here just for her. They're here just because they wanted to help her hit mastermind. They're here just because they wanted to see Francia succeed. Same thing with Cynthia, and we see it multiple times. People, they won't do things for themselves, but they'll run through a wall for the kids that are inside of a building burning. Okay, people won't do a lot of things for themselves, but if you attach yourself to someone else's goal, like, I promise you, you're gonna push for more. You're gonna demand for more. You're gonna have a higher standard for what it is that you're going after. When you have that higher standard, it's like you're out in the field and you're going through life and, like, not doing well, not getting the job done, not getting the mission accomplished. Like, it's not okay. And when something isn't okay, it's like that impact that Alan gives. Like, you gotta want it more than you want to breathe. Like, when you want to breathe, like, you're gonna freaking breathe. You're gonna find out a way to get that breath of fresh air, and you're gonna just figure it. You're gonna do whatever it takes to get that breath of fresh air, or you're gonna die. Okay, and that's how bad you gotta want to succeed. That's how your standards have to be when you're out in the field or when you're going after things. Like, you gotta want it so freaking bad that there's just no other option than for you to get the job done. There's no other option than for you to do every single little thing in excellence and just get the job done. So whatever it is that you're trying to do, just tell yourself you're capable of more, you can accomplish more, but just raise your standards on a day-to-day. Don't settle for average, don't accept less, don't think that $1,000 is okay, don't think that $800 is okay, don't think that just signing up one customer with 4 or 5 lions is enough for today. Okay, raise the bar on whatever it is that you're doing. Cool?
Yes, sir.